Hey guys, in case you don't know by now, I'm LB and I wish to welcome you to my website, lblifehacks.com. I'm going to try to keep this intro video not too long, but at the same time, I just want to let you know and give you a quick overview about what everything's about. So in case you haven't seen my other video, I've been on this planet for more than 4 decades, and yes, that's over 40 years. People say I don't look my age. I don't know. I always stay young-minded and young at heart, so I guess that helps to keep me young. And I found other things and hacks and things that will help with this. But, basically, and one more thing. I want to put another disclaimer in here. If you didn't see my other video, this stuff is for educational purposes only. Because you're always going to get them people that do something, and let's say like with the workout part. They might do it, overdo it, strain themselves, say, he told me to do it, it's his fault. Look, consult a physician before you do anything, whether it's exercising, whether there's any type of supplements, whatever it is. It's for educational purposes only, because what I present to people is what worked for me. And like I said, every individual is different. But, and a lot of times people just won't follow the instructions. They'll have something to say, do A, B, C, and they won't follow it, and then they'll have either negative results or they won't see any results, and they'll say, oh, it's fake. And it wouldn't be the issue of the product. It would be the person actually doing it. But basically, like I said, consult your physician, educational purposes. And now moving right along. Okay, well, I told you why I created the website, but also let me give you a little bit of my backstory. So, and I think my backstory also kind of ties in to, what I think is one of the biggest life hacks. And that is just, getting along with people and having respect. Because getting a little bit into my background, which I don't like to go into it too much, I had a lot of, negativity when I was a child. I mean, things I was exposed to, people maybe that took advantage of me, and things that happened, especially when I was, way younger, like 4 and 5 years old. So I don't really like to revisit it too much, but if I think it's gonna, help somebody, I just share it with them. So basically, when I was between 4 and 5 years old, we moved, from where I was currently living in New York out to the West Coast. I stayed there for about a year, but it was really rough. And, the people there, they didn't take to, basically somebody who looks like me, the color of my skin, they didn't take to it too kindly. And, they let us know. They do stuff like burn trash on the lawn. They would call me the N-word and this and that. Like I said, I don't want to get too much in that because that's really not what this is about. But, this is, like I said, it ties into what I find is the biggest life hack of all. And that is getting along with others and just being a productive member on this planet. And when I was going through these things, my mom, she never taught me to hate anyone, no matter the color of your skin. She said the people that are doing it to you, they may be, negative people or bad people. They have bad character. But she said, treat everyone, like you meet, like you don't bring any type of biases into, whoever you're meeting. Don't use your filter like, okay, this person is, so more than likely they're like this. She said, take it on an individual basis and judge people on the content of their character. So doing that, it's allowed me to get to know some really great people. But not only that, it's like another thing I learned is a lot of people lack respect. I mean, as far as, giving respect to others, because people expect respect to be given, but respect is earned. It's not just given. And to get respect, you have to give respect. And I think that's one of the problems that we have in this world today. I'm like, we have all these different type of issues. You might have issues, let's say, some people of color say have issues with law enforcement. Some people say they have issues with this. And, these issues may very well be with those individuals. But to be honest with you, it all comes back to this, a respect level. If we walk around here and instead of bringing biases to one another, no matter, I don't care what the color of your skin is, I don't care your gender, your sexual orientation. At the end of the day, treat each other with respect, like give respect, and I'm not talking about loyalty is something different. Loyalty is royalty and loyalty is earned. But as far as just a basic respect level, respecting another human being or individual on just a basic level, you don't have to be best friends. I'm not saying some old, like new age, hold hands, just you all got to sing Kumbaya. It's not about that. But it's about if we have different beliefs, we can agree to disagree. Like, one thing I try to stay away from, a couple things, is like religion, politics, and sports. Because we all know people are very passionate about those things and they get crazy. So I stay away from those topics. But ultimately, like I said, if somebody has different beliefs than mine, it doesn't matter. And we can still get along. I'm not gonna not get to know people because of their beliefs. But at the end of the day, I'm going to show everybody a basic level of respect. And I think that's what's missing in this world. You look around in our world today, we have a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Look where we're at. We have this coronavirus. People were in the house. To be honest with you, when we was on quarantine back around the end of March, during that time, the earth was getting cleaned up. Things were getting better. And it seemed like things were looking up for humanity. I mean, even though technically we were in the house, but things would, like I said, the earth was cleaning itself. And I said maybe this would be a learning experience when people are able to go back out freely again. Maybe that they would have, said, okay, let me cherish the little things. Let me respect life more. It seemed like they came out the house crazier than when they went in the house. And it's like it's bugged out. Like, if you look at 9/11, 9/11 was a terrible tragedy, yes. But one thing after 9/11, I said, okay, I've noticed that it seemed that some people, it brought out the side of them, the loving side. It brought out the I don't know. People were different afterwards. It might not have been long term. Like, it seemed like it was maybe 3 to 6 months after the incident. But I had people holding doors for me and saying, "Hey, brother," and I don't know. Everything seemed different. The vibe was like it's like it was a togetherness almost. And afterwards, I guess once something traumatic happened, people go through it. It's like sometimes maybe a temporary change, but I was hoping it was going to be long lasting, because I was like, we could take this tragedy, turn around and make something better. And I was hoping the same thing with the pandemic. I said it's horrible, the coronavirus and everything, but maybe people will learn to have respect for one another. Things that maybe you didn't do before the pandemic, you'll start to live life more, because you realize once these things were taken away from you, now you're like, let me try something. A lot of people, especially when you get older, like, I'm not doing these things, let's say bowling, roller skating, whatever. You realize that, once these things are taken away, you're like, wow, I should have did that. Or I've been meaning to do that. And, I'm just saying that, it's what you take from the experience. So, I have 2 children in this, myself. And, at first I didn't want to bring kids into the world, because I said the world is crazy. It seemed like it's getting worse. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it is what it is. It's up to us to make it better. So I want to when I leave this earth, I want to leave my children, with in a situation where it's a little bit better than when I first found it. So that's why I try to do my best to just spread love and, just respect one another and be the change I wish to see in the world. And I believe that we all can change. I feel that to have long-lasting change, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 generations. Because if we teach the children better than, maybe we were raised, if we wasn't raised right, or better than the situation that we see around us, and we use this to teach our children better and not have prejudices and to have respect for one another, in 2 to 3 generations, all this negativity could die out if we move forward and do it. And that's why I'm like, the time is now. It's like, when are we going to wait? When are we going to do it? Things are progressively getting worse. When are we going to do it? We're going to wait. We're going to say, okay, let's see what happens when the vaccine comes out, or let's give it a couple. No. The time to start doing better is now. Just like when it comes to self-improvement. I used to put things off at times, but, I could be a procrastinator. But I found the best thing to do is to start where you're at now and move forward. Because the more you do, eventually things are going to get better and better. So, we really need to at least have a basic level of respect for one another. That, I feel, needs a lot of work. And if we do that, we can all come together and help make this world a better place. And that's the importance. It's important for ourselves, for our children, future generations. Because if not, we're just destroying the planet. Look, people are littering everywhere. You take off their masks and gloves. And okay, let's say these things are contaminated. They throw them down on the ground. The stuff is blowing around. There's animals that are coming into contact with us. They said a squirrel had coronavirus. Think about it. You throwing your mask and gloves down. What do you think? The animal's gonna pick up something. The stuff blows off. Especially, I've seen people throw stuff down in the parks. The stuff goes in the water. It affects the animals, everything, the wildlife. So, at the end of the day, it's up to us. And we can't control what others do. We can only control what we do. Like I always tell my children, you can only control what you do. So people are gonna be what they're gonna be. Some people, if they act crazy, or they disrespectful or racist, these people, especially as they get older, they may have been raised that way, and they may be second, third, fourth, maybe even further generations of that mentality. So it is what it is. It's not about trying to get everybody to change, because people got to want to change. And some people like that are never going to change. But if we, especially us who have children, teach our children better, and we do better, and we be the change we wish to see in the world by showing that, then eventually, we could eradicate these things, and we could all get along in this planet, as one truly human race. Because at the end of the day, that's what we really are, and we know that. Even though we're separating the subcategories, it may be true, but, what I'm saying? Just like there's no denying I'm a black man. I understand that. But I'm also a human being at the end of the day, and regardless, what I'm saying? I love, I love being black. I used to think it was a burden because of everything I had to go through, the hardships, but I feel like it helped make me stronger. What don't kill you, make you stronger. But at the end of the day, regardless, we are human beings. And I think that we need to have respect for one another, treat each other better, Like I said, it's not about you got to be best friends with everybody and, no. But another thing I feel that is people don't value one another. People value each other according to, let's say, what car they're driving, how much money they have, the kind of clothes they wear. And at the end of the day, that's not value. I always say, man makes the money. Money shouldn't make the man, because if money make the man, then he wasn't really worth much anyway. Because I look at it like this. I am very spiritual, and I believe in the Creator that created us all. So to me, it's like he didn't create necessarily one person better than the other. We all have things we may do better than someone else. What I'm saying? Maybe I'm better at one thing than somebody else, but somebody else could be better at me than, this other thing. And, it's at the end of the day, somebody's always going to be better than you at something. I don't care how much stuff you excel at. I can excel at 10 things. Somebody else will excel at 15, 20 things. At the end of the day, it's not a competition. I don't look to compare myself to others. I don't even care about that. My point is, at the end of the day, I don't feel like I'm better than anyone. The same way I don't feel like anybody's better than me. So I show everybody respect, and I think we need to value each other. If we look at each other like, okay, we all have the same creator, so it's like we're brothers and sisters on this planet. I'm not better than you, not better than me. Then we'll value each other as being priceless. Because with more than 7 billion people on this planet, that's over 7 billion different personalities. If you think about it, everybody's different. That's why I say everybody brings something to the table. And what you bring to the table is something that I can't bring to the table. What I bring to the table is something somebody else can't bring. What they bring, somebody else can bring, and so on and so forth. But together it's beautiful. It's like different colors on a canvas. And it's like it comes together to make a beautiful work of art. Like, like a Mona Lisa or something like that. Or something, maybe something by Michelangelo. It comes together and it blends. So that's why if we respect one another and value one another and understand that, okay, no matter what your position is in life, whether you're, have a college degree or whether you're regular just, blue collar worker, that maybe doesn't have a degree, all of that at the end of the day, doesn't matter. These are accomplishments, but it doesn't say who we are as an individual. And I feel like if we see each other as, okay, I respect you, regardless of where you're at in life, regardless of how much money you have, regardless of your position and title, and I see your value. I hope you see mine, and at the same time I respect you. I feel like if we all do that on a basic level, we will improve, because all these other issues that we have in life are actually effects and not a cause. And I feel that they're effects of the fact that there is a lack of respect between a lot of individuals on this planet, and people don't value one another. People don't even value themselves. If you look at a lot of people, look at them. They disrespect themselves. You could tell in their language. A lot of times they have negative self-talk, and So I don't want to go off too far. I just wanted to basically say that, to me, having respect, valuing everyone and seeing everyone as an equal, and me not better than anybody and nobody better than me, I think that's one of the biggest life hacks, because it's allowed me to come from a place of where I'm grounded. And I know, and I have a sense of pride, and I don't know, I just get along better with fellow human beings. I don't really have problems with people. Man, it's a beautiful thing. And I see people having issues, and I'm like, all this could be eliminated if you just respect one another and value. Like I said, you don't have to be, people think of everybody getting along like some utopia, like we all skipping and holding hands, and it's not even like that. It's just showing a basic level of respect and valuing each other. You'll see things will change, and then we could work on the other things, because there's a lot of issues that need work. But if we start there at that basic level and we move from there, who knows what we could accomplish. And I believe it's possible. I really do. And I've always felt like, okay, it's going to take 2 to 3 generations to make it happen. But I'm like, if enough people actually do it, I feel like we could hit critical mass, and we could actually get there, a lot sooner. It doesn't necessarily have to take 2 to 3 generations, but it's up to us as individuals, the choices that we make. So I know where I stand, and this is why I raise my children too, because I tell them that, just, try to make the world a better place. Be the change you want to see in the world. Like I said, the same way I live, and the same way, like I tell my kids, no matter how your day is going, don't bring any type of negativity that you might have experienced to someone else. And that's why in the morning we pray, and we pray also before we go to bed. And I was like, when we do that, we pray, for knowledge, for wisdom. We pray for, peace on this earth. And I'm like, if we sandwich ourselves in with goodness by praying and staying in that positive space in the morning, no matter what happens through the day, you started out good. So if something negative happened, okay, but you don't let that affect you. You don't, you try not to bring that to the next experience, because a lot of times we'll go through something and it'll be like a snowball effect. And then we'll encounter somebody else, and then we'll bring that negativity from the previous situation into the next. And then we'll be treating somebody unfairly because we're already angry. And it's like, it's just, like I said, it just progressively gets worse. And then we'll affect somebody else, and they'll affect somebody else. It's like the pay it forward effect. You could pay it forward in a bad way and a good way. So if we sandwich our day in with goodness, start out positive, you go through some stuff, you might feel a little down if you go through something negative, but don't use it as an excuse to treat others negatively, and don't look to put your issues on someone else. And then at the end of the day, you also pray, and you pray for goodness. I teach my children, and like I said, you sandwich it with goodness. You start the day out on a high note, you end it on a high note. And at the end of the day, I'm like, if you do this and you live by these words, then I feel it's going to better your life, because I've seen it, the miracles it's done in my life. So, like I said, if you're not religious, fine, you have to pray. You don't necessarily have to be religious to pray, but, I'm just saying, it's not even about that. I mean, that may be what I do and what I teach my children, but it's just about at least start your day out positively and try to end it positively. Don't wake up mad and don't go to bed mad, because something might happen during the day to get you mad. But you definitely don't want to, take that with you to sleep, because you're just going to bring that negativity with you, and it's going to be the snowball effect. And if you wake up mad, then you're dead, and you go to sleep mad. Look, the cycle, it goes on and on and on and on until maybe something positive happens. Like, oh, I'm in a good mood, and then something else might bring it down. But like I said, I don't want to drag this on and on and on. But like I said, these things to me was, some of my biggest life hacks. And I've seen the changes it's made in my life just from implementing these things. And, that's for the most part, that's it. So to not make this intro video too long, it's already looked like over 17 minutes. That's pretty much it. So like I said, check out the rest of my content. I got great stuff for you guys. Trust me, I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to go off on a tangent every video like, yeah, no. But I just wanted to just get that out, because to me, I feel like that's one of the biggest life hacks of all. So once again, thanks for listening to me. I go by LB. Once again, this video's for educational purposes only. Well, not just this video, the content on my site, because, consult your physician, educational purposes. Don't want to get sued, because you know what's going to happen. Somebody do something. He said do it. Now, look, I said this is what I did. This works for me. Now the respect thing and the value thing, you can't get sued for that. That's something, if we all did, the world would be a better place. And, by the way, what's funny? I feel like if they was to offer us a second stimulus check and say to get that stimulus check, you have to at least do that, value each other, and respect each other for one day. I'm like, because a lot of people motivation is money. You can't get people to do something for nothing, but you start throwing money in the mix and they'll do it. But I'm like, maybe that's what's needed to get people to try it, because I believe that if we all did that for at least one day, the world would be a much better place, and you'll see it and you'll want to continue it. And I'm like, look, I feel like everybody should try it. Try it. It'd be nice if I get together with everybody on the planet. I mean, I know that's not possible, but say one day, show each other respect, value one another, and let's see if we get along better and things are better, and we can progressively move on better. If it don't work, look, I'm like, you can call me lie to my face. You're wrong. That's nonsense. But I know we can get great results from it. So, I'm hoping that eventually I can see that in my lifetime. If not, it is what it is. Others before me have planted the seeds, so it's not like I'm saying anything new. But like I said, whoever, sees this, and, I just hope that it can have some type of positive impact on them, because I feel like we all leave footprints on this earth from the time we're born to the time we leave. So it's a question of, are we going to leave clean footprints, or are we going to leave a mark on this earth that people are going to say that's something that, I want to aspire to, I want to follow, and a positive role model? Or is it going to be something that You know, people are like, oh, look, he left the place dirty. He left muddy footprints. He was, you know, this and that and all this type of negative things. What kind of footprints are you leaving on this earth? So at the end of the day, that's all. Once again, you know, I'm LB. Thanks for watching. You know, see you, I guess, in the next video. Stay with me. Peace.